Welcome back, Patriots, to the Aaron Moffat channel. I'm really excited. I'm going to be talking about something special today. Today, I'm going to be talking about who is Q. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. Many people are talking about, reading about, and following something called Q. Q started in the chans of the anonymous political group poll of 4chan, and therefore has created a following called the QAnon movement. Many people there were already Trump supporters, and many in the chans have proven to be highly intelligent people. Luckily, for those of us who are not quite at the pay grade of the Anons and the chans, there have been many to help us to understand the truth of the corrupt deep state, how Trump's election changed it all, and how Q falls into any of it. What no one knows is who Q really is. There have been several speculations. JFK Jr., John Kelly, a team of military operatives, the president himself, and many other speculations. Where I lack in intelligence of perhaps things like gematria, numerology, computer coding, and things like that, I make up for in my digging. While I keep most information to myself, and not because I'm secretive, but because so many are already providing great insight into Q research, I recently did some digging that has led me to believe I know not only who Q is, but why Q is, and what that may mean for us as Americans. This story really begins so long ago that I can't, in this one piece, properly cover it all, so let us start in 1993, when Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, James Chandler III, John Podesta, Larry Summers, George Soros, and the CIA created an internet hijack plan. In 1993, the new Clinton administration convened for the third CPSR Cryptography and Privacy Conference. CPSR stands for Computer Professionals for Social Responsibility. The conference was held 2 days before an important June 9, 1993 House hearing on encryption and telecommunications network security. The conference gathered over 106 attendees representing government, politics, commerce, manufacturing, industry, media, technology, telecommunications, healthcare, banking, education, faith, and accounting. Clinton advisors James P. Chandler III, John Podesta, Robert Mueller III, and James Comey sponsored the Carnegie Endowment meeting to give FBI encryption master key to the entire internet. The meeting sponsor was globalist advocate Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, and the host of the meeting, James P. Chandler III, George Washington University intellectual property and national security law professor and later patent attorney for social networking inventor Leader Technologies, John Podesta, chief of staff and campaign manager to Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton, and Stephen Crocker, founding member of the illegal public-private conspiracy group Highlands Forum Group, and Barack Obama's director of ICANN, that's the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, who ceded control to the UN in October of 2016, 1 month before Donald J. Trump was elected president. The information about this meeting was hidden on Hillary's private email server and was later unearthed by corruption watchdog Judicial Watch after they pressed the State Department in the court to release a document. Between 1995 and 1999, a series of national security laws, executive orders, and presidential policy directives were written for Clinton by James Chandler III, his national security and intellectual property advisor. Chandler organized Highlands Group to weaponize inventions also, and interestingly, the laws that Chandler drafted passed nearly unanimously. Note, whenever that occurs, all of Congress has been bought off or fooled en masse before the vote. I will explain in a moment also how Clinton likely already had access to the FBI encryption keys by this time, thereby he had plenty of blackmail and extortion information on every influential member of Congress. In October of 1996, Congress passed 3 Clinton-Chandler laws that were used to further gut congressional oversight over security and privacy. It enabled the FBI to increase mass surveillance and then lie about it. One was called the Economic Espionage Act. The Federal Trade Secrets Act was the second, and the third was the False Statements Accountability Act, which I've provided here with the numbers and designations so that you can look at these further should you wish to. In February of '97, Chandler incorporated Eurotech Limited to hire former Soviet scientists and engineers to build embedded encryption spy backdoors inside all computer hardware, firmware, and software. The key Eurotech players were and are Microsoft, IBM, Intel, Cisco, Oracle, and Wind River, among others. On October 23rd of '97, the Clinton Foundation was formed. On August 6th of 1998, Robert Mueller III's law firm Hale and Dorr, which is now called WilmerHale, helped file, quote, the Internet of Things, unquote, patents for Hewlett-Packard that described a global surveillance grid that even monitors and controls individual body functions and describes human beings as wetware. The invention also contains an accounting and taxing capability to manage certificate authorities, to control public key infrastructure encryption, tax the Internet, and control wetware access. On August 18th of 98, Entrust Technologies Incorporated went public after being started as a spin-off of Nortel Networks to manage and distribute public key infrastructure certificate authorities, the encryption keys for the Internet. Their customers include important military, banking, healthcare, and government entities in the US, UK, Australia, Canada, Sweden, Denmark, France, Spain, Italy, and China. In 1999, Sheryl K. Sandberg became Chief of Staff to Clinton Treasury Secretary Lawrence Larry Summers. Larry Summers, a professor of economics at Harvard, tutored Sheryl Sandberg, a favorite student of his, while fellow professor of law James Chandler III looked on. In their hubris, they have used their inside knowledge of America's legal and economic weaknesses to try and create a permanent ruling class among their cronies. In July of 1999, Clinton Attorney General Janet Reno created a new Office of Special Counsel inside the Department of Justice after the Special Counsel law was not reauthorized by Congress. This dubious Department of Justice policy, not a law, is now being used to justify the Mueller witch hunt. Larry Summers' former Treasury staffer from 1993 to 2001, Marnie L. Levine, later Dutch, became Summers' chief of staff starting at Harvard on July 2nd of 2001, where she oversaw the CIA's MKUltra establishment of the 19-year-old Mark Zuckerberg as their Facebook cardboard cutout. Later in 2009, she became product vice president at AOL, and then Summers became chief of staff for the National Economic Council. In January of 2009, she became Obama's special assistant to the president for economic policy in June of 2010, and then she attended an exclusive dinner with Hillary and Sheryl Sandberg on March 27th of 2012. Then she became chief operating officer of Instagram on October 7th, 2014. All truly magically intertwined beautifully. In November of 2001, IBM intellectual property attorneys James P. Chandler III, showing up again, and David J. Kapos used a $40 million IBM donation to start what was called the IBM Eclipse Foundation, which has been the exclusive distributor of Leader Technology social networking innovations. In August of 2002, IBM Eclipse Foundation distributed version 2.0.1 that included all of Leader Technology social networking innovations. On September 18th of 2002, career IBMer Thomas E. Noonan, Internet Security Systems, Inc., was appointed to the National Infrastructure Assurance Council, NIAC, by George W. Bush, surely recommended by James P. Chandler III, and he remains a member of the council to this day. In 2003, Noonan became a partner to Entrust Incorporated public key infrastructure controlled by none other than Hillary Clinton. On October 29, 2003, Entrust Inc. was awarded the contract to supply all 50,000 encryption keys for the Federal Bureau of Investigation by Robert Mueller. In December of 2003, Entrust Inc. elected Jerry C. Jones as a Class 1 director to replace retiring General Wesley K. Clark. Jones is a 19-year Hillary Clinton partner at the Rose Law Firm of Little Rock, Arkansas. With the appointment of Jones, FBI Director Robert Mueller III had an ethical duty to disclose to the public that his approval of Entrust Inc. to manage 50,000 FBI encryption keys enabled his political mentor Hillary Clinton to have full access to the entire FBI operation. Facebook launched at IBM EclipseCon on February 4th of 2004. Google and Sheryl Sandberg launched Gmail in June of 2005. In 2008, Sandberg was appointed the COO of Facebook and called the New Valley Girl by CNN. In 2009, Facebook and Sandberg began conspiring with the NSA to illegally share user information on all American citizens. In March of 2009, Entrust Inc. issued its last 10K annual report before selling its operation to Orlando Bravo LLC and its Thoma Bravo private equity firm in San Francisco, California. They disclosed at that time that they had more than 2,000 customers in 60 different countries. So, what are encryption keys? Put simply, encryption keys are used on both the sender's and receiver's computers to send data. It takes two keys to make a connection to send or receive data. The Clinton administration created trusted certificate authorities to check with to make sure that the two keys are the real sender and receiver. If your keys are not approved by the certificate authorities, your connection will be blocked. In the hands of tyrannical globalists like Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, George Soros, Eric Schmidt, and Robert Mueller, this would have been the new censorship on the internet. Since these people have full backdoor access to any computer or phone on the internet, can they ever be caught? Yes, once it was realized how they did it. That method has just been discovered. The truth is, Hillary Clinton literally had access to every computer on the internet through Entrust. Her 19-year Rose law firm partner, Jerry C. Jones, directs the company, now ostensibly run by a Silicon Valley dude named Orlando Bravo, and his private equity firm, Thoma Bravo, and has done since December of 2003. Entrust issued the encryption keys for most major governments and companies throughout the world. Fast forward to the 2016 elections and a man by the name of Robert Mercer, a libertarian. Robert Leroy Mercer, born July 11, 1946, is an American computer scientist who was a developer in early artificial intelligence and previous co-CEO of Renaissance Technologies, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund. Of note, James Simons, who also founded Renaissance Technologies, was a huge contributor to the Clintons and other similar agendas. He is an American mathematician, billionaire hedge fund manager, and philanthropist. He is known as a quantitative investor and in 1982 founded Renaissance Technologies. James Simons was a powerful counterweight to Mercer and his political views. Robert Mercer interestingly played a key role in the Brexit campaign by donating data analytics services to Nigel Farage. He is also a major funder of organizations supporting right-wing political causes in the United States, such as Breitbart News and Donald Trump's 2016 campaign for president. In June 2016, he was ranked the #1 donor to federal candidates in the 2016 election cycle. He is the principal benefactor of the Make America #1 super PAC. Mercer hired Stephen Bannon of Breitbart for his involvement with Cambridge Analytica, where they allegedly used data technology on Facebook to aid in the 2016 elections. Collaborating with Mark Kogan and utilizing the Kogan app, millions of people were paid to take personality tests, and this data could also be used to aid in the elections. The company itself claims it used data enhancement and audience segmentation techniques, providing psychographic analysis for a deeper knowledge of target audience. The company used the Big Five model of personality, behavior micro-targeting, to identify personality traits based on the OCEAN model, which stands for openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The company indicates that it can predict the needs of subjects and how these needs may change over time. Services then can be individually targeted for the benefit of its clients, from the political arena, governments, and companies, providing a better and more actionable view of their key audiences. For each political client, the firm narrowed voter segments from 32 different personality styles it attributes to every adult in the United States. The personality data would inform the tone of the language used in ad messages or voter contact scripts, while additional data is used to determine voter stances on particular issues. The data would get updated with monthly surveys asking about political preferences and how people get the information that they use to make decisions. It also covered consumer topics about different brands and preferred products, building up an image of how someone shops as much as how they vote. The CEO of Cambridge Analytica was Alexander Nix, and apparently Nix had a relationship with Julian Assange. Cambridge Analytica had reached out to Assange in July of 2016 and offered to help him index and distribute the 33,000 emails that had been stolen from Hillary Clinton. Assange issued a statement saying that he had turned down the Cambridge Analytica offer. Alexander Nix, the company's chief executive, told Westminster MPs the same in February during an appearance at the Commons Digital Culture, Media, and Support Select Committee. Nix said he found a contact for WikiLeaks speaking agency on the internet and sent Assange an email. Brittany Kaiser, a once senior executive at Cambridge Analytica, visited Assange on the 17th of February of 2017. 17! Ms. Kaiser is also alleged to have funneled money to WikiLeaks in the form of cryptocurrency. She called the organization her favorite charity, which tells me that they were trading information and working together. So we now see these connections. Mercer, Bannon, Cambridge Analytica, Facebook and Kogan app, and Trump win. Cambridge Analytica, Alexander Nix, Assange, Trump has the servers. James Simons, Hillary Clinton and others hijacked the internet, encryption keys, FBI, NSA, CIA, Wojak was all stopped by taking back the keys from Hillary and ensuring a presidential loss. And this leads me back to Mercer. He is an expert in AI, working with AI that is much faster than binary, using qualitative and quantitative data analyses. His AI would be able to know gematria, numerology, statistics, be able to drop at the same time as the president tweets, withhold vast amounts of knowledge, and likely all information from the servers. This AI would be able to compute future happenings and desired outcomes for countless agenda scenarios from millions of data analyses pathways. We can find where quantitative and qualitative AI has been very useful for scientific and psychological studies. As humans in our physical environments, we have a lot of work to do to reduce variable interferences to get desired outcomes. AI has come in to provide a way to produce hypothetical and very significantly precise outcomes logically and with computer intelligence taking out all possible interfering variables. Quite possibly, AI will be taking out the need to do any more human studies in many specialty areas. The outcomes will be much more significant than our human studies, as there would be no human error on the side of emotion, bias, or simply the inability to foresee interfering variables. And it's fast. Think Person of Interest, the TV show. There was an episode where the AI had to get the humans out of a deadly situation. Every possible outcome was ending in death. The AI had to be fast enough in this very high-stress situation to go through millions of possible outcomes before it found only one where they could survive. Also, the AI was not under stress, was without emotion, and was not fearful, only logical. That is what we understand AI to be capable of today. It can interact and appear to be a real human. It can have personalities, moods, likes, dislikes, favorite music, books, and on, and it can learn. It is fast and can calculate responses and decisions instantaneously. It can drop hints and clues, including ways for people of all ways of thinking to find answers. People who understand gematria, numerology, Illuminati family histories, economics, statistics, etc. You get it. AI can show us where to look and what to look for to find the information we already had, but never knew we had it. AI can move people to work together, to unite, and to spread the truth. AI can rejuvenate a sleepy nation and awaken it to a future that is in the power of the people. Friends, let me present to you Q. Mercer has taken the same data technology and donated to Brexit as he has for Trump. He put Trump in office utilizing same but better strategies that Hillary Clinton has used for decades. He's taken back control, started up QAI, and is giving the power back to the people by pushing them to learn, research, and uncover truth. And who else has received this data sharing? It remains to be seen. I know Mr. Mercer isn't talking, but Q is. We have more than we know. The choice to know is ours. Where we go one, we go all.
I stayed anonymous on these QAnon posts, but I see the finish line, so I know we're getting close. I always drop knowledge when the people need it most. No time like the present with my finger on the pulse. We got this movement popping across the nation, mass reindoctrination of the population. Time to wake up to the problems that we're facing. If you watch MSM, it's time to change the station. Man, I'm just keeping it real. It's beyond my control since I took the red pill. There's a reason that Trump put tariffs on the steel. The pieces of the puzzle come together to reveal a picture so vivid of the world that we live in. No deals will be made, y'all remain unforgiving. illusion is delusion, it's already been proven. When it drags on, we add on to the movement. Blame the NRA for another school shooting, while the cowards from Broward stood by and didn't do shit. I saw a small light through the world of confusion. In a land full of shills, I killed the illusion. Yeah, where we go on, we go all. United we stand, but divided we fall. Watch the water, keep your eye on the ball. Patriots fight, now it's time to heed the call. The system is failing, we're the second biggest threat. Digital warriors all across the net. Every day, patriots and military vets. Every day we recruit a fleet of new cadets. A plan to bring the cabal down to its knees. Forest fires burn, but forget to burn the trees. Direct energy from the PG&E. Liberalism is a mental disease. You try to red pill y'all, but you didn't listen. Fake maggots exposed controlled opposition. A group of less than 10 fully know the mission. The choice to know is yours, in the end it's your decision. Realize this will be the only chance we're given. If we don't win, say goodbye to the world we live in. They say ignorance is bliss, but it isn't. This is simple mathematics, they're creating a division. It's time for us to break free from the mental prisons. It's all by design, they enslave us in the system. They only demonize what's a threat to their religion. The truth goes beyond anything you can envision. It's down to a science and they do it with precision. Propaganda being pumped through the television. But our time is now, we've awakened with the vision. The great awakening, now we change the world we live in.